Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video, I will show you how to save gameplay state using Google Play Game Services in Expo React Native for Android. So I have already made a few videos related to Google Play Game Services for Expo Android like login, leaderboard, player stats, events, etc. So if you are curious about that, you can watch those videos. This video is about saving the gameplay state. So suppose if the user has reached till level 700, I want to save that, we can use the gameplay state for that. Now let's get started. So first, I've just created one cheat sheet. So you can go to this particular URL. It will guide you how to create an Expo React Native project. I will be using this blank TypeScript template, but you feel free to use whatever template you feel like. So for now, I will just copy this code and I will just paste it over here. So this will create an Expo React Native project for us. It will just ask for us the app name, so I'll just give it as my app. Okay. Now we need to write some native code for this because there is no third-party library available, at least at the time of me recording this video. So we need to create a native module for Android as well as the Android folder, which is not by default present for an Expo React Native project. So you'll have to go to this URL over here and paste it like this. Here you will have to select Android device. You can select development build and you can disable EAS because we will be building it locally. You would require, so select your own operating system. I am on Mac OS, so I have already installed Watchman, I have already installed Cas Zulu, I have already installed Java Home as well. Okay, I have already installed Android Studio, so I have already done all these settings. So if you haven't done it, you will have to do this, and also I have done all this stuff as well and this stuff as well. Okay, then we need to copy this particular command, so I'll just copy this and I'll cd to my app first, then I'll paste it over here. Now this will install the Expo dev client dependencies for us. One important thing which I forgot to tell you is that this tutorial requires a paid Google Play console account, so you would need to pay almost 10 to $12, whatever is the amount at the time of you watching this video, because it can differ to Google, and it is lifetime membership, so you don't have to pay it again and again. Then once that command is done, we need to copy this command and paste it over here as well. Now this will actually create the Android folder for us, so let it do its thing. Now here you can see it is automatically setting the package name. Now the package name is also very important because we need to change the package name later on to generate SHA-1 certificate. Like this com.anonymous is not a valid package name and your app might get rejected. That's why. And this error which you are seeing, ignore this error. In your case, it might be selected a simulator or a real device and asking you to run it on your real device, but you can just do Control C or Command C because we don't want to run it now. We haven't written any code as such. In my case, it is not, I don't have any Android emulator installed and I have not connected my real Android device to my laptop yet. That's why it is throwing this error, but this is not really an error. It's just that it's not able to find any device, so this is fine. Okay, once this is done, like I said, next thing is we need to create the native module or an Android module. So again, I'll go to this particular URL. Okay, I'll copy this. Also, this Google Play Game Services is only for Android, so we are not interested in iOS for now. I'll just paste this command. Now this will ask us few questions like what should be the module name and all that stuff. I'll keep everything as default, so I'll just press enter. Okay, so it has created the module for us. Now I will just open the project just to show it to you. So this is the project. I'll just open it inside VS Code. Okay, so the next thing is you need to go to Google Play Console. Okay, so next on Google Play Console, you just have to click on this create app button. Next thing is in here we have to give some app name, so I would recommend give some proper app name. So I'll just give it as Travel Beats. You can give it your own app name. Then here you will have to select game. Here I'll select free. I'll check this check boxes and then I'll click on create app. So let's just wait. Okay, then you have to go click on grow users, play game services, setup and management, then click on configuration. Then here you will have to select this create new play game services project, and here you will have to click on this create new cloud project button. Click on this Google Cloud Console hyperlink. Okay, then over here as well I will give it the same app name in project name, so I'll name it as travel bits. I'll click on create. Okay, so let's just wait for this project to get created. So it has been created. I'll just select this project. Then I will go back to Google Play Console. I'll click on this done over here. Now it does take a few seconds or a minute or two for that project to get reflected on Google Play Console. So if I just click on refresh cloud project, and if I try to search it here, you can see I'm not able to find my project. I'll have to refresh it few more times or wait for a few seconds. Still no. Okay, so here is my project. I'll just select it and I'll click on use. Then we will have to click on this create watch screen option, then click on this Google Cloud Platform button. And before I show you the next steps, what you can do is just open Android Studio, because I will be using Android Studio to generate the SHA-1 certificate, as according to me that is the easiest way. But if you want, you can generate the run that key tool command as well. I'll show you that. For first, now just click on this open button on Android Studio and just navigate to where your project is created. So here is my app, and we have to open the Android folder inside Android Studio. So I'll just click on this open button. Now it will take a little bit of time for Gradle syncing. That's why I opened it earlier. So let it do its thing. In the meantime, again come back to our project, and here you will have to go to clients and click on get started. And here you will again have to give your app some name. I'll again give it same thing, travel beats. Now here you will have to select your own email id it from a drop down. I will skip this step because I don't want to reveal my email id. So just select your email id and click on next. Okay, then you will have to select external over here, then click on next again. And here you can either enter the same email id which you selected at the top or enter a different one. It's up to you. I'll just enter this email id. I'll click on next and I'll check this checkbox. I'll click on continue. I'll click on create. Okay, then here you will have to click on create OAuth client, and here inside application type, first select web application and just click on create. Then here you will have to click on create client, select Android. Now here is the package name thing which I was talking about. So we can't use the com.anonymous which is assigned by default. I wish at least Expo had asked the user when we tried to create the Android folder like what should be the package name. But yeah, unfortunate, that's the reality. So I think the easiest way is just go to VS Code and search for com.anonymous. Okay, so here it is. So you'll have to change it everywhere. So I'll just write, so typically it is your company name. So I'll just enter coding with nobody dot travel bits, but you can enter whatever you feel like is right for you. So I'll just copy this and I'll save it. Then here we'll have to go to this build.gradle as well, and we'll have to change it over here. So I'll just change this. I'll change it over here as well. Then inside this Android manifest also we'll have to change it. So okay, just a second. Okay, I'll just change it over here as well. Okay, then inside this package also we need to change it. So I'll just change it over here, and here also I'll change it. Okay, now we'll need to change the project structure as well a little bit. So if you go here, you can see it is anonymous. I don't want anonymous, I want coding with nobody. So I'll just paste that. I'll just remove this. I'll remove the com is already present, so we don't require that com. So something like this, and instead of my app it should be travel beats, right? So I will name this as travel beats. So hopefully this should work. Now again inside Android Studio, now this is throwing me an error. This is because of Android Studio ladybug. Like this has nothing to do with the package name which we have changed. So what if you're like me using Android Studio Ladybug, you will have to go to Android Studio. You'll have to go to settings of Android Studio, and then you will have to go to build execution deployment, go to build tools, go to Gradle, and just change this Gradle version to at least Java Home 17. Then click on apply, and then click on OK. Even if you're not getting this error, you will again have to do this Gradle sync. You can just click on this elephant icon which you see over here. I will just click on try again, because we have changed the package name as well, right? So we need to update Android Studio as well. So just do this Gradle sync stuff. So in the meantime, this is happening. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this package name which we have created, and I will just paste it over here. Now we need to create the SHA-1 certificate. So there are two commands to create the SHA-1 certificate. Let me show it to you. Okay, so here are the two commands. One is this /gradlew sign-in report, which we will be using because we are not planning to deploy the app to like to Play Store. We are just doing the setup and will run the debug APK directly from our laptop to our device. But if you're planning to, if you have already created a release APK, then you can use this particular command. But here you will have to replace this key store path with your release key store path. Really change the alias name, change the store password, change the key password as well. But for now, just for simplicity sake, we will be using the debug APK, so I can directly run this command inside Android Studio. So it has Android Studio has also finished doing the Gradle sync, so I can just open terminal inside Android Studio. I'm more comfortable using this terminal, but if you are using this Mac OS or Windows terminal, then you will have to cd to the Android folder and then run this command. So I will just directly run this command from over here. So let's see, hopefully this should work. So yeah, here you can see, now you'll have to scroll up. It has generated all the SHA-1. There are a lot of SHA-1s, so don't get confused. You'll have to scroll up at the very top, and here you can see this is the debug variant. So you will have to copy this particular SHA-1. So I'll just copy this. Okay, I'll go back to Google Cloud Platform and paste it over here, and I'll just click on create. Hopefully this should work. So yeah, it has worked. Then again you will have to go back to Google Play console, click on this confirm configuration, then click on this create credentials, click on this add credential button, then here select Android, and if you want to enable anti-piracy you can do that as well. I'll just select this Android client which we have created and then click on save changes, and then again I'll just go back, and again I'll click on add credential button, and here I will select game server, and again I'll just click on this refresh auth clients, and here we will select this web client and click on save changes again, and then again I'll just go back. Then here this is just redirects you to the documentation, so if you want you can just read this documentation. I'm not going to go into that. Then just click on publish your project. Now here there will be few issues, so we'll click on this particular arrow. It is asking for a description, so I'll enter the same app name as description. Select the game categories whatever you feel like, and here you will have to enter a game icon. So I have just asked ChatGPT to generate an icon for me, so I will just drag and drop that particular icon over here. And it also requires a feature graphic, so you can just search for on Google. There are a lot of websites which help you generate feature graphic, so I have just generated one simple feature graphic. So this is the app icon and this is the feature graphic. Then click on save changes. Then again just go back, then click on review and publish, then click on publish, then click on publish game project. Okay, so our project has been published. Now what I'll do is I will write down all the required code which is necessary, then come back and explain it to you what exactly I have done. Okay, now coming back to the actual code. So first you will have to go to modules, my module.ts, and here these three methods are present by default. I have not added this by myself. The only two methods which I have added is this login method, which will give the string, like it will contain lot of user details. I'm just stringifying the result and sending it back from native Android side to React Native side. You can just JSON parse it again. Okay, and for save game state you have to specify what level you want to save, and again it will give you either a success message or the selected level. Now you might be confused, like, okay, how it will give us the selected level. So this particular method will do two things: either save a new game level or select an existing saved game. Things will be more clearer once I show you guys the output, so don't worry too much about it. Then just go to the Android folder, main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and you will have to scroll down, and before this application tag ends you have to add this metadata tag. Now this should be your own project ID. From where you will get it, you will have to go to Google Play console, and you can just copy this project ID which you are seeing over here and just paste it over here. So use your own project ID. Mine will not work for you because by the time you watch this video I will be deleting this app. So make sure you use your own project ID. Once that is done, you will have to go to this build.gradle file as well, scroll down, and you need to add this packaging option as well. Now this is required because we will be using this Google Drive dependency, and it has some boilerplate code which is already present inside the Android APK. So that's why we need to exclude these two files. So make sure you add this two files as well. Okay, then just close this. Then go to the main Android folder of your modules, go to build.gradle file. You will have to scroll at the very bottom. You will have to add this dependency section. So first you have to add this Google Play Game Services for Google Play Game Services login, and the Google Play Game Services auth, as well as this drive dependency for like login via this Google account. So whenever we are saving and getting the game state, we have to use the actual Google account of the user. It is not stored on Google server. The Google sign-in account is different from the Google Play Game Services login account which we will be using. So don't get confused. Again, once I show you guys the output, things would be more clearer for you. So for now you will have to add all these dependencies. Then you will have to go to the src folder. Also one more thing, just to show it to you, if you go to this my modules.type.ts, at least at the time of me recording this video, whenever we create an Expo module, it also creates this change event payload. This is useful for sending data from native Android side to React Native side. It has this attribute called value. I will be using the same value attribute for sending all types of data, like the login data or the save game state data. So don't get confused, like from where did this change event payload come from. Okay, now before I show you this actual code inside our java mymodule.kt, let's see how to use it first. I'll close all other files. I'll go to app.tsx, and here you can see I'm first importing use effect. I'm also importing our module. I have imported touchable opacity as well as text. Inside this use effect, like I like just told you, we are listening for this on change event which will continuously listen for data, and it has this value property which was present, like I just shown it to you over here, this value. Okay, in future if they decide to change it, be careful, like you will have to use, or they might decide to completely remove this as well. It's up to Expo. Okay, so that's what we are listening over data, and I'm just printing it to the metro bundler. So here, as soon as this use effect is called, I'm just calling this check login method, and if you see this check login, if the user is already logged in using Google Play Game Services, we don't want the user to press this button again and again, right? That's why I've called this check login inside this use effect state, and we are removing the subscription as well. And here we have just created two buttons. One button will call the login method of our my module, and the response of this particular thing is captured over here. Similarly for the second button as well, we just call this save game state, and this is the level which I am passing, level 99. You can pass whatever level depending on what level the user is on inside your game. And then again we are listening for the data for that method inside this particular thing. You, if you want, you can create a different variable as well, but I'm using the same variable for both of these methods. Then you will have to come to this my module.kt file. So firstly you will have to write all these imports. So just copy all these imports which I have, pause the video and copy it. Then we create this request code authorization as well as request code saved game, because we want to listen for on activity result. Now some of you might be saying that on activity result is deprecated. Yes, but I don't know how to use register for activity result inside this particular module, because that can be only be used inside a activity or a fragment. So if you know how to use it, do let me know in the comments. This save game data is for that game state which we are passing over here. So that's what we will be assigning over here. Then here we are getting hold of our context as well as activity. Then here is our game sign in client, and inside this on create method, so you will have to write this inside module definition. We just initialize our play games SDK as well as assign this game sign in client as well. Okay, then again I'll just scroll down, and here we first create this async function of login. So the method name should be same what you have described it inside TypeScript file. Then here we just do game sign in client dot sign in, add a complete listener. If it is successful, then get the current player, and as soon as I have the current player, I'm sending all the data for current player back to React Native side. In case of error, I'm just displaying a toast message, but if you want to send error, again with the help of this you can send error back as well if you want. Okay, similarly for this error as well, again I'm displaying a toast message. Then coming back to the second method, save game state. So first I'm assigning value which you send from React Native side. Then we get the requested scope. Then we create authorization request. This is for the Google sign in. Then we just do identity dot get authorization client, authorize it. If it is success, then we create a pending intent, and we send the pending intent to the start intent sender for result. This will call the on activity result code, which I will show you shortly. And in case of error, I'm just doing this, logging it to the console. And in case if the user is already signed in, then we can directly save the snapshot to cloud. In our case, this is Google Drive. And here on failure listener, again I'm just logging it to the console. So coming back to this particular bit of code, this will automatically call this on activity result. Okay, so first I'm getting the data, and I'm checking if it is request code authorization, and if the result is okay, then we do authorization result, and if it contains the actual correct scope, then again we save the snapshot to cloud. Okay, now we'll come to this else if block later on. Let's see this save snapshot to cloud. uh, so here is the method save snapshot to cloud. So here we just do snapshot client play games dot get snapshot client, pass the activity. Maximum number of same games to show is 5. You can change this value. Then here we create an intent task. Then we add a complete listener to it. If it is successful, then we again do activity dot start activity for result, and here we are passing this different value. So again this will call that on activity result, which I will show you shortly. In case of else clause, there is an error, so I'm just displaying this toast message as well. So again the callback will come to this on activity result, but in this case this will call this particular else if clause. Okay, so again we get hold of our snapshot client. Then we have check if this data has extras. So this particular thing will get called once you select an existing saved game. Again this might be little confusing, let me show you the demo later on and things will be more clearer. Then we create a snapshot metadata out of it. Then we get the current saved game. Then we create a conflict resolution policy. Then we open the current saved game. Then add a failure listener. I'm just doing a toast message. Otherwise, if it is success, then continue with it. Then we just do a snapshot. Then we create a byte array out of it. Then we convert it to string and send that particular string back to React Native side, and also displaying a toast message and a complete list. Now what if the user want to save a snapshot? So for that this else if clause will get called. So here is our unique name which we are creating. Then we just do snapshot client dot open, pass the currently saved game. Then here we create a snapshot, and if snapshot is not equal to null, then we just do snapshot dot snapshot content, write the bytes because we need to convert string to byte array. Then here we create this metadata change. Then we commit and close pass the snapshot as well as metadata change, add a complete listener. If it is successful, then we save say a message saying that save game was successful. You can change this message to whatever you feel like, and display a toast message as well. And in case of else clause, this is failure, as well as this is also failure, and this is also failure. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now I know I was jumping throughout this file, so I'll simply scroll through this file one more time. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy the code. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you now I will just show you guys the output. Guys, so here is the output. Now I was automatically signed in because we were checking that inside use effect as well, right? Now you might be wondering, I'm using this app for the very first time, so how I was automatically signed in without pressing the login button. It's just that I have used the same Google Play login service account on different apps as well. So Google Play Game Services is smart enough to recognize me. If I have used it for other app, it will automatically sign in for this new app as well. So I'll just show it to you one more time. I'll refresh this, and you should see a dialog. I'm not sure if it will be visible to you or not. I don't think it will be visible. Yeah, okay, but like I said, here is the data. So you can assume that this was automatically signed in, and you will get the same data if you click on the login button as well. So we are getting the data. There is one pop-up which comes. Unfortunately, I'm not able to replicate it. I don't know why, but yeah, you will see a pop-up. Then coming back to save and get game, now there is one single button which I told you. So as soon as I click on this button, it will first ask me to sign in with my Google account. Now this is different from your Google Play Game Services login, so don't get confused. Now the data which would be stored, like the save state game data, it would not be stored on Google server. It will be stored on the user's Google Drive account. So they will have to pick one Google account which they are using on their Android device. So I will click on this. Sorry, I will blur the output for a second. So I have clicked on that button. It opens the modal pop-up where I have to select one Google account. So I'll just select one. Then you should see a screen like this. So you can either click on this plus button to save the game. So we were sending level 99, right? So I'll click on this plus button, and that particular state has been saved. Now if I again click on save get game, now I don't need to log in, but here you can see that the level has been saved. Now if I want to save some other level, I click on this plus button, or I can select the existing level as well. So I'll just click on the select button, and if I show you the metro bundler, here you can see level 99 was selected, so I'm printing it to the metro bundler. So yeah, that's it for this demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.